Packer's been on a couple of Toro Cups before. I think this may be his opponent's debut. Gantt maybe has 1 or 2 matches, but Penny Packer's been on these mats quite a bit.
All right, gentlemen, begin.
Yep, debut for Gantt. Taking on Penny Packer in the gi. Immediate shot there.
Woo!
That
Big
was a
guard pull.
jump to guard.
Yeah.
He leaped at him. Looking for the dummy sweep. Hard on a guy that tall.
Wow, beautiful transition to the seatbelt. That was really, really well timed. He flew to the back there.
He's like, oh, you want to fly into guard? Let me show you how to fly. I'll fly right to your back.
Wow, inserts a second hook, so he does have the full back control here, working for those collar grips. He does a great job at following his hips over the top and not getting left behind during that spinning escape. Looks like he's confident in his grips, though, because he's climbing those feet up. Should get some extension here, maybe use those hips to bridge in and pull the collars through.
We've already seen a few collar chokes here today at Toro Cup.
Looks like he may actually be working to switch off to a triangle armbar.
Ooh, yeah, that's nice. I mean, he's got a nice little 2-on-1 on that near side arm, and he's pulling it true. Doesn't quite have his legs where he needs them, so he needs to free the arm and then rotate over. There he is. Now we're dealing with a real threat here. Penny Packer addressing it well.
Wow, he's out. And maybe in on a footlock.
Yeah, and now this is a deep, especially when you can grab your own gi here. Now, this is the great defense from Gantt, is grabbing the near side collar. It can buy you some time, but it can't protect you forever, but it looks like he's going to use it to pass.
Wow, passes right into a beautiful side control.
Very nice stuff from both men so far. Really liking the pace and the technique on display from both men. Unfortunately, not another quick sub. As exciting as that last match was, it's
just
hard to submit somebody in 2 minutes in the gi.
Oh, yeah.
It's harder. That didn't stop Penny Packer from trying with that flying triangle entry, flying guard entry.
Yeah, I've definitely seen a lot of offense in this match, but great defense as well, turning into offense, which is always very impressive. I always say that the sign of great defense is when you can turn your defense straight into offense and get back in the driver's seat. Otherwise, sometimes you're just kind of running and turns into a chain of somebody else's attacks, and now you're spending a lot of energy to stay safe, but you're constantly in the back seat, and it can be really nonstop. Now, that was a very interesting switch into reverse mount, and then a hip switch looking to come back into half guard on top. So still in a dominant position, but quite a bit of twisting and turning there.
I teach a beginner's style jiu-jitsu class here locally, and one of the things that I try to simplify for my students is it's very hard to think about jiu-jitsu when you first get into it in terms of offense and defense. And even I have at my level a hard time seeing it that way. Instead, I like to think of what are your goals in every position, whether it's top or bottom? What are your immediate goals? That can kind of help you know when to be offensive and when to be defensive.
Right.
But think about how many guys who you've seen, or women who you've seen, who are put into bad positions, and that's exactly where they like to be, because that's where some of their best stuff is from.
Right, right. I think we might be on another collar choke here. We have at least this side hook in. I can't see if the other hook is in as well, but the hips are really high, which is indicative of a collar choke finish. You don't really want to let your hips get that high unless you are closing in on a submission. It looks like he is. He has the collars across. He is pulling on the finish here, but it's hard to see if it's under the chin. It was. He gets the tap. And another submission here at Toro Cup.
Collar choke.